Hello and welcome to the Wiry Personal Finance channel. My name is Sonia and this will be my first video. This channel is about learning to navigate life on a budget, and that's actually what I would like to talk about today, and use the money that you have sparingly and also learn to expand it through healthy habits. So the main points of this channel, I think, will be mainly budgeting, learning personal financial growth, and also just incorporating healthy habits into our day-to-day lives. One of the points that I would like to make is that having shared living spaces is one way to save money and just kind of buy yourself time to figure out what your next steps are. For many people, this could be moving back home with your parents or guardians, but also this could mean getting a roommate or a housemate so that the bills and the rent are not entirely on your shoulders. Learning to cook at home is a great way to save on money because eating out can get very pricey if you do it a couple times a week or most of the week. It has a way of piling up slowly, and I know that that was true for myself as well. There was a time I used to eat out a lot, and somehow, even though I was earning a paycheck from my part-time job, I felt as strained financially as I was when I wasn't working. And I was really confused by that, and it took some reflection, like, what am I spending money on, to realize that, oh, I was spending quite a bit on eating out. And the moment I started to start cooking at home, make a few simple dishes, meal prep, what an excellent way to kind of manage your finances. Having meals prepared at home and kind of eating before I left, that really helps to save on money and also just manage the expenses in general. I know how fun it is to eat out, and I don't fault anyone for enjoying that, but sometimes you have to take a look at your bank statement and just be very real about what you can and cannot afford at the moment. And I think cooking at home is one way to make sure you're getting your nutrition, you're getting fed, you feel satisfied, but it's also very friendly to your wallet. So I am a big proponent of cooking at home. Another great way to stick to a budget, I think, is learning to do your own hair. So this idea really only hit me sometime last year. I love going to the salon, but sometime last year I just had to sit down and I realized that I was spending quite a bit on these regular every 2-month appointments. I have locks, but for whatever hairstyle you have, I think it is useful to learn how to do a simple style for yourself. I think it just saves, it's really good at saving money. It's only when you really sit down you realize, wow, stylists are paid a lot, as they should be, because that is a great skill and it ought to be compensated as such. But I'm just adding that if it is not friendly to your wallet, maybe you can consider learning to do a few things at home. I know for locks, there are crochet hooks and there's tools and there's tutorials online that you can learn from, what I'm learning from. So I'm just trying to embrace that, and just learning to do your hair at home can save you quite a bit of money as you get on your feet financially. Another great idea to stick to a budget or navigate life on a budget is learning to use public transport. So this option will vary depending on where you are in the world. Sometimes it's taxis, buses, trains, whatever works for you in your situation. But I do think learning to use public transport is an amazing skill because private options like Uber Private options like Uber can become very pricey very quickly, and they wouldn't be friendly to a budget. Um, in my experience, using such an option every single day, it eats into um, your budget. So I do think learning to use public transport options, getting comfortable with those, it's not private and it's not often comfortable, but it is friendly. It is financially friendly. It will get you to point A and point B. So I think public transport options are really good. They've helped me move around town, um, and for a fraction of the cost that it would have cost me if I used maybe an Uber. So yes, I do support using public transport options to stick to your budget. Another way to live on a budget that shouldn't be controversial, but according to some online discourse, I sometimes get the impression is controversial. Not sure why, is repeating clothes or rotating clothes. So I understand the thrill of getting a new outfit every time you have an event. There's a wedding, you're going on a trip with friends, um, different events that happen in life. You want to get a new outfit each time, and by all means, if you can afford it, you definitely should. And this video may not apply, but if you are sticking to a budget and you're just trying to stretch your money as far as you can, I am a big proponent of learning to repeat clothes. Um, just getting classic pieces, crafting a wardrobe that is kind of timeless. You know, you can use a different top or a different pair of trousers for a variety of events, not just a single event. And that would mean, in many ways, learning to abstain from trends that come and go because the clothes look amazing as they do online. But when the season is over and it's not a trend anymore, you still have it in your wardrobe. And because it's so specifically tailored to maybe going out or a specific function, you can't really use it anywhere else, which can be quite frustrating if you're in need of like a classic wardrobe where you can wear different clothes to different events always. So I'm a big proponent of repeating clothes because this helps someone stick to their budget. Another way to stick to a budget, I think, would be saving to splurge, kind of anticipating your need to spend money and budgeting for the moments when maybe you want to buy that coffee, you want to buy that dress, that top, you want to go for that concert, get that pair of shoes. Wouldn't it be great to kind of save for that? Try to anticipate your needs, and then that way, when you do spend, you're not eating into your budget too badly. By the end, not much would have changed for you financially because you actually saved up for that. Last but not least, I think one of the best ways to stick to a budget is simply learning to say no. This is something that it is surprisingly hard to do, to say no. To know that maybe people close to you, your friends, family are going out, you've been invited, everything is just right, except of course the balance on your bank account. And rather than ignore that and turn a blind eye, learning to say no is crucial because at the end of the day, you're the only one who truly understands your financial situation. Other people may invite you for things or sometimes pressure you into buying things, but no one really knows what's going on with your finances except you. So it is ultimately your responsibility to learn to say no if the situation at hand does not align with your financial goals, like saving or budgeting. And it's a difficult thing to do. I definitely appreciate that. But I think the more you learn to discern what you can and can't spend money on, the easier it will be. Thank you so much. Those were my tips on learning to live on a budget. I hope you stick with the Warrior channel. We'll have more content coming soon. Thank you.